Hey guys, I just wanted to do a follow up. Well, we wanted to do a follow up on a video that we talked about earlier last week where we were talking about taking sex out of the media, or at least the power of sex out of the media, and taking your being proud of your body. And Um, that kind of goes into something else that we've been thinking about and noticing a lot. And like, don't get me wrong, no members on this team currently have teenagers. But thank God I was not a teenager of today's day. It was tough enough being a teenager of my day. And when you've got the social media presence you have nowadays with YouTube and all that, we tried doing a little bit of research on how safe is the surface web. And we will discuss that research at a later date. We're trying to find the best way to do that. But the point of one of the videos we made last week, where it was called, I believe we called it "Be Proud of You," and it was talking about Beyonce a little bit and how she claims to empower girls and all this. Well, if you read the articles, like, granted, I know tabloids you can't believe it all, but for some reason I believe it with her, that she's very prissy and preppy and like, I'm the queen, I'm rich, you guys are all little peons and you all suck. But one of the other current pop culture queens of today, actually, I would maybe even call them a royal family of sorts, is the Kardashians. And I cannot stand them. Okay, and they're part of the problem with today's social media presence. Actually, they are a big problem. I mean, look at it. They Kim Kardashian made her. She was famous when she was little for being the stepdaughter of Bruce Jenner, now Caitlyn Jenner, and she was famous for being the daughter of one of the O.J. Simpson um, dream team, Robert Kardashian. Okay, and now you got her controlling, in my opinion, uh, dominating momager. Now I just drew a brain fart on what the hell her name is, but you got uh, Chris Jenner. That's it. Sorry. Anyway, the point I'm getting at is, with social media today, all I hear about on the news nowadays, and it's so sad, is about all these, like, you hear about the Kathleen Wynne new sex education curriculum, and they talk briefly about selfies, and parents were offended that they talk about uh, same sex marriage and all that stuff. That's not what I'm getting into here. But what I will talk about is the selfie, okay? I'm not trying to contradict myself, and we're not trying to contradict ourselves as a team here, but we need to be proud of our bodies, like I said in the earlier video, and we need to find positive body image, and we can do that, I believe, as I said before, in the privacy of our own home, and maybe being naked in our own home, not out in public, unless you're at a new beach or one of those type of scenarios, which I don't know if there's any in Canada, but that's besides the point. Now, the only reason I'm saying don't do it in public is because just some people, in my personal opinion, should not be walking around naked, but that's just me. Um, but I will say, with the Kardashians, I mean, you got all these girls and boys, I guess, sexting images to each other, and it's unfortunate. And parents are blaming media, and parents are blaming inappropriate, are blaming, like, oh, we're not teaching our kids enough about social media, which they're right. But I mean, a big part of it is the closeted Kardashian fan base, and you got them watching Caitlyn Jenner. Whoops. You got them watching Kim Kardashian sexting all these images of herself in the bathroom with comments like, "Oh, some days you got nothing to wear." You know what? Be in your own home and do that. Be on your own private campground and do that. Do not send it out where you've got thousands and thousands, or maybe, give me a second. I'm going to look up how many followers she has on Instagram. Just give me a sec. But as I'm looking that up with my teammate, like, she's got thousands or millions, and some of those, I'm sure, are boys. Some of those, I'm sure, are young girls. Some of those, I'm sure, what some people might. Some of them are, I'm sure, what you might call perverted old men, which that's their own prerogative. I'm not saying they are perverted. I mean, they're human. I mean, they look at somebody that's probably as fake as could be and got, probably cement in her butt to make her ass that big, quite frankly. Like, you've got all these girls that want boys to like them, or guys got all these girls that want them to like them, and they look at it and they go, okay, well, I'm going to share with a friend, and then it just, the internet is not as safe as people think it is. I'm sure I can be hacked at any moment, or my team could be, or you hear all the time about, not nearly as often as we probably should, but we hear occasionally of Home Depot. They got hacked for all their credit card information. I mean, people put too much faith in the internet. But people need to teach their children that Kim Kardashian is nothing but, well, a money grubbing faker. And, like, I just looked it up with my teammate. Here's a shocking number. She's got 70 million Instagram followers, okay? That's ridiculous. So who knows how many of them are little boys? Who knows how many of them are teen boys? Who knows how many of them are, and then they oh, look, I got this hot picture of Kim Kardashian, and it plants a seed, and they can deny it, but it plants a seed in children and young adults that, all you gotta do to get famous is make a sex tape. As long as I got a big, ass, or I could be the next big thing that's discovered, and it's ridiculous. And it's because of the Kardashians right now that we got all these sexting videos going on and all these things going on, and that's just in Canada and the States. I mean, I don't know the numbers. I don't want to know the numbers. You guys can look it up yourself. But it's because of the Kardashians, and it's because of social media, and the naivete that only your followers are going to find it, or you're going to send it to this boy you might like that might be cute, and blah, 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 but then guess what? You make him mad, or he wants to be cool and wants to be funny with his buddies, and you're sending that video out, and then you got a Rehtaeh Parsons situation going on here. It's because of the Kardashians. It's because of social media. All this is happening. We need to take the power of our bodies back and take sex out of the equation when we're thinking of the human body. The human body is a beautiful thing, but we need to be able to, I don't know, I'm just going to throw it out there. Like, we need to be able to look at our partner or people and just go, okay, she's naked, so what? Okay, he's naked, so what? Like, we need to take the sex out of the equation of it. Like, Just because it's a human body does not equal sex. It's a human body. We were designed that way by God, and that's just the way it is. I hope I explained it right. If you want more clarification, please let me know. But I'm telling you right now, have a responsible, like, this is nothing like it was 20 years ago. Like, we occasionally had, I don't even remember my sex talk. It was, make sure you save yourself for someone you love, and it was kind of awkward, and like no parent likes to think of their child having sex. Nobody likes to think of their mother having sex, whatever. We need to but we need to take just because it's on social media, we don't need to glamorize it. We don't need to make it sexual or whatever. The human body is the human body. Just because it's a human body doesn't mean you gotta look at your partner and be like, oh, sex. Or doesn't mean you gotta look at a celebrity and go, oh, sex. Let's take the power out of that. Like I said before in our other video, let's take sex out of the equation for the media. I'm not saying don't have sex. I'm saying take the power out of media. And just because Kim Kardashian does it, anybody that might be watching this video with their kid, doesn't mean do it. It doesn't matter. Just because Kim Kardashian got famous from a sex tape, don't forget she also was born into riches. To riches.